I feel stupid. I'm gonna be honest. I made an oopsie. I feel stupid, and I'm going to admit it to you guys. So, my family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook. Sometimes I go picking with my boyfriend, sometimes it's my best friend Sue, and sometimes it's my kids. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and hopefully just maybe making a profit. Okay, out on the table here in front of me, I have everything from yesterday's shopping trip with Juliet. So we've got quite a few goodies here. We did go to the community aid, which we frequent quite often. And it was a Saturday, which was not normally our typical day to go visit the community aid. And I was surprised by how much good stuff we got, because typically on the weekend, that's when people are off work, that's when everybody's thrifting. I like to go during the week when not everybody is thrifting, but we got some good stuff. We got some good stuff for resale, so we're gonna go over this stuff, talk a little bit about what we paid for it and how much I can expect to get for it. So our total spend I'm gonna put up here in this corner because I've already peeled off some of the tags and I'm not entirely sure what we paid for some of this stuff. So I'm gonna put our total spend up here, and then we're gonna talk about what we paid for it and how much we can get for it. So I am a little bit out of breath. The air quality today in South Central Pennsylvania is not the best, so I may be breathing a little bit heavy. I know you guys notice that a lot in my videos. Today is like not a good day for me, so forgive me ahead of time. You guys don't have to mention it in the video. I'm pointing it out, so you guys are gonna notice it. Anyway, let's go over everything. First of all, one of the first things that we picked up were these cased glass vases. Now, I've been avoiding lamps a lot lately because I have enough project lamps that I haven't had a chance, I haven't had the time to work on. You guys know I work very hard at my YouTube videos and they consume a lot of my time. So I don't really have time to put into project lamps at the moment. These lamps are obviously not project lamps. They have really nice cords. There's no fraying on the cords. The cords are in very good quality. The lamps themselves are in good quality. The brass is all really nice. There's only like minimal oxidation for their age, which is very nice. Whenever you're looking at lamps, you want to look at the oxidation because a lot of the vintage lamps have brass. If there is oxidation, that's going to detract from the value. So in the case of these lamps, there is not a lot of oxidation. So the oxidation is rust. So there's not a lot of oxidation on these lamps. These are nice lamps. These are really nice lamps. I don't have to do any work for them. They can basically go straight up for sale, which I like. So I paid $5 a piece for these lamps. A total of $10 for the pair. I would expect to get anywhere from $45 to $65 for them, possibly a little bit more because they are just complete. They need no work. There's no damage. They have marble bases and they have matching finials. Granted, the finials are wood and they are spray painted to match, which means that somebody really loved them enough to find paint that specifically matched the lamps and paint the finials to match the lamps. That is dedication. But anyway, I you know, these are case lamps. So when I say case lamps, what I mean is the lamps themselves are clear glass. They are satin glass. Here, I'll give you guys a close up in case you didn't see the shopping video. So these lamps are satin glass. They're clear glass. The interior of the lamp, the inside of the lamp is painted pink. So normally when you come across these reverse painted lamps is what they are called, the reverse painting has started to become brittle and chip away. So you'll actually see places on the lamp where the paint has chipped away and you'll see clear splotches. These are completely painted all the way through. Like I said, really nice examples of reverse painted lamps. I don't know why I'm calling them case lamps, honestly. I guess I'm just really tired. Anyway, let's move on from the lamps. Obviously, we're gonna make a profit on those. We are probably gonna pay for the entire haul just on those lamps alone. But let's talk about our roly-poly glasses because those are the next things we found. Now, these roly-poly glasses are a mercury fade. The mercury fade is basically, you know, there's a mercury band where there is a hard stop on these glasses, and then there's a mercury fade where it starts to fade into the clear. That is called well, silver fade. Silver fade. You're not allowed to say mercury fade anymore. We're gonna call it a silver fade. When it starts to fade, that is called the silver fade. So these are the 8-ounce glasses. The 8-ounce glasses do better than any other size because they're just standard drinking glasses. So 8-ounce glasses do the best. They do even better when they come with a caddy. These ones do not come with a caddy, unfortunately. They do way better when they don't even have this design on them. Believe it or not, the plain ones do the best. The design actually detracts from the value because mid-century modern lovers, mid-century modern is defined by being very simple and very sleek. And when you add this kind of fanciness to it, it's no longer a very mid-century modern. It's just mid-century. There's a difference between mid-century and mid-century modern. So these are mid-century and not mid-century modern. But they are still really nice glasses. They are vintage. They are 8-ounce glasses, and I have 8 of them. I have 8 of them. They would have fit in a caddy. If I had the caddy, I would probably be looking at about $60. I do not have a caddy, so I'm probably looking at more $35 to $40 for this set of glasses, which is fine because I paid only $1 a piece for them, so I paid a total of $8. I'm going to be making a profit on those glasses. I am always looking for the 8-ounce glasses, especially when they're plain. And when they're in a caddy, even better. The plain glasses in a caddy can go up to $85. So keep those in mind. I have a set in my own collection that I decorate with. I'll show you guys sometime. Anyway, moving right along. Let's talk about this. This is, I mean, there's a couple pieces here that I don't actually know who makes them, but I was attracted to them, and I'm going to explain to you why I was attracted to them and why I think that they're going to sell well and why somebody else would be attracted to them. This is one of those. There's no markings on it, so I'm not entirely sure who makes it. But the reason I am attracted to this piece is the lines. As we just described, mid-century modern is very simple lines. It is basically this. It's very simple lines. In this case, this piece is very neutral colors. It's brown and green and this kind of orangey but creamy color. This piece I would describe as mid-century modern. And this is a nice piece of ceramic. It does have a hole in the lid, which makes me think that it possibly had a purpose for cooking, maybe. I'm not sure. See, I don't cook a whole lot, so I'm not sure. But it is a little jar, and personally, I would probably put it in my mid-century cabinet and put it on display and maybe store stuff in it. But I just thought it was a nice mid-century piece. I liked the lines of it, and that's why I bought it. And I already pulled the sticker off of it, so I can't tell you how much I paid for this piece. But I can tell you it was probably $5 or $6. I think that one was a little high. I remember it being a little high. This piece, another piece that I've already taken the sticker off of to try to list it, and then I got distracted. This piece, I'm not sure the maker of this, but again, we're talking about the lines. We're looking at the lines of this piece. Very simple lines, mid-century lines, possibly mid-century modern, but the handle, not so much. The handle is kind of a little bit too, It's not really a mid-century modern handle, but I do like the lines, and I like the color. The color is vibrant, it's yellow, it's fun. It reminds me a little bit of Fiesta wear. So I think this creamer will do well because of that, because of the matte finish on the glaze. The matte finish meaning that it's not real glossy. It's kind of a, well, it's a matte finish. So I like this. Oh, I'm not talking about how much I think I can get for it. For this piece right here, let's talk about how much I can get for this. I think I could probably get, I'm gonna say $25 to $35 for this. For this piece, I think I could probably get $20 to $25 for this creamer. And hopefully somebody else out there has a sugar that matches. That would be amazing. But while we're on the subject of Fiesta wear, this piece reminded me of Homer Laughlin. Also because of the shape of it. I'm not sure of the maker. It does not have, I cleaned it. You can see all that water dripping out of it. It does not have a mark on the bottom, unfortunately. So I'm not sure who makes it, but the lines, the color makes me think Homer Laughlin. I cannot say that it is Homer Laughlin because it doesn't have any marks on it, but it is a nice gravy boat. I'm assuming it's a gravy boat. It's nice. For this piece, I would expect to get $20 to $25 for this. If it turns out to be some like awesome maker, maybe it would go for more, but I'm not entirely sure who that's made by. So I'm gonna adjust the camera here. I realize we're a little bit low. So, all right, there we go. No, now we're crooked. You guys are like, what is going on? Sorry. I was kind of in a rush to set up. We're still like, you know, way too low. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, let's talk about this. Now this piece right here is just a double swan. I want to say it's like a little bud vase. I see corsages in these little things, and it's kind of strange. It's not really a planter. It's kind of like a little, I don't know, bud vase almost. It's marked USA on the back, but I think it may be Hall. I think, Hall. But I would probably sell between $10 and $15. It's nothing special. It's not any specifically special design. But there are no chips and cracks on it, which is nice. And it's just two swans. And you guys know me and birds. I love birds. Speaking of birds, here we go. Birds. Juliet picked this up. This I paid $2 for. I think she's gonna probably want to keep this, but I think it's made by Homeco. One of my viewers suggested Home Interiors, which I believe is the same as Homeco, and that it was possibly repainted, which appears to be so because I can see where they kind of overpainted a little bit. But I love it being yellow, and we might put it out in the sunroom where we have Charlie. And if you haven't met Charlie, Charlie is our new son conure, and he's delightful. He loves to talk. Let's talk about our vase. Our vase. Paid $2 for this. This is Royal Hager. It actually is marked on the bottom, Hager, USA. $2.33. The Flower Box, Westminster, Maryland. So this is probably actually a flower arrangement that somebody had ordered, which is really cool. I am obsessed with Royal Hager. I love Royal Hager. I love the weight of it. I love the colors. You guys know my favorite lamp, which I'm staring at right now, is Royal Hager. And I paid $2 for this. This isn't a super valuable piece. It's not a very unique piece, but it is Royal Hager. It has no chips or cracks. It's nice lines. Talking about the lines again. This piece I would probably expect to get $15 to $20 for because of the lines. And because it's Hager and it's got that name attached to it. Juliet's teacup. Now it is marked China T.O. hand painted Nippon. She picked this out. It's a teacup and it is hand painted. The mark appears to be more modern than I expected when I was rewatching and editing the video in Nippon. It does have a chip on the rim, unfortunately, but I have to say I'm very proud of her because if you watched this video compared to the last video, she is getting the hang of things. And even though she thinks that everything is made in Japan, we're working on that, she definitely is starting to see more valuable items, and she's starting to see, for example, Nippon. Which makes me happy, but I did not actually see that chip whenever she brought it over to me, and that's perfectly fine. Paying $2 for this. I think she wants to sell it, so I will probably list it for auction. These teacups can go anywhere from $5 upwards, and I honestly don't know Nippon and why some of them sell for more and some of them sell for less. I don't understand the market at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think probably the quality of the painting and maybe the maker's mark on the bottom. This maker's mark is unfamiliar to me, so I'm not sure how it would factor into the value of this piece, but it is, like I said, we paid $2 for this. So if we can get $5 for it, we are making a profit on it. Of course, it does have a chip, so honestly, if it wasn't Juliet's, and I probably wouldn't list it, but we'll start it out at 99 cents auction, and we'll go from there. This piece, also a Juliet pick, paid $5 for Pocahontas, and the little raccoon, who I can't remember his name. You guys can tell me in the comments what his name is, and I'm sure you will. Gosh, I was like a little kid when this aired, so I can't even remember. I think that this is a cake topper, I want to say, but I'm not exactly sure, and honestly, I don't know how much it's worth. Juliet picked it out. Some Disney stuff can sell for really, really good money, especially the vintage stuff. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, we were talking about those Finding Nemo mugs with the Mine, Mine, Mine penguins on, or I'm sorry, the Mine, Mine, Mine seagulls on them. Those aren't even that old, and they sell for like $30. Just the Mine, Mine, Mine seagull mugs. Today, we were at the bins, and I found a Monsters, Inc. mug. And I actually looked it up to see if it was as valuable as the Mine, Mine, Mine seagulls mug. It was not, but I looked it up just in case, because I was like, you know, those seagull mugs, they're worth some good money. I wonder if this one is. It's not. Stick with the seagull mugs if you find them. This is another piece Juliet picked up. Paid $1 for this. This is not very old. It's made to look like depression glass. It's probably from the 2000s. Paid $1 for this. I will more than likely be sticking this in her bedroom unless she decides she wants to sell it. I've seen them sell between $2 and $5. Paid $1 for it, so if we can make $2 on it, that would be fantastic. But I will let her make that decision because she found it. Now this is a piece I probably paid too much for. I paid $2 for it. But I thought, here, let me focus on it for you guys. I thought it was pretty. It is marked Crown China, Austria. The middle is gold and it has started to wear, but the rest of it is in pretty good condition. And I could totally see like some cookies or biscuits out on this tray. It's really nice. I paid $6 for this. I would expect probably to get $20 to $25 for this. Not a huge return, but it is a really nice piece and it's made in Austria, so I like it. You guys know I buy pieces that I don't mind being stuck with, so if I get stuck with that, I'll put some cookies on it and put it out for the kids. Little kitty, paid $1 for this. I would expect to get anywhere from $8 to $12 for the cat. It's just a cat figurine made in, it says made in, and then the rest of it got off the figurine. Like they couldn't even stamp it on the bottom. They were just like made in. Nobody will ever know. Probably Japan. More than likely Japan or China. But it's just a little white cat. You guys know me and cats. All right, it looks like we've only got one thing left to talk about, and this was the important thing that I really wanted to talk about because it's kind of important. The vase. The vase is important, and the reason the vase is important is because I picked it up. If it didn't have the label on it, I would have said, well, that's art glass, that's not Murano. But because it had a sticker on it that said Murano, I thought, you know, that's Murano because it has the sticker, and of course it's Murano. The sticker's right there. This is saying it's Murano glass. In any other case, if it had not had the sticker on it, I would have said that's not Murano glass. And you know what? It's not Murano glass. So there's a teaching moment here that you guys can learn from my mistake, because I paid $6 from this. I will still make my money back. Not as much as I would if it was actual Murano, but this piece is made by artisans in the style of Murano, and that's how they get away with what they do. They make pieces in the style of Murano. This is made by Crystal Clear, made in Italy, style Murano glassware. That is what the label says. Probably one of those moments where, hey Jocelyn, you should have been wearing your glasses. I know, you don't have to remind me. I should have been wearing my glasses because all I saw on the sticker was Murano, and I looked at it and I thought, you know, oh yeah, I guess that's Murano, and I stuck it in the cart and I just went on with my day. It's not Murano, and the more I look at it, the more obvious it is, and I just should have. I feel stupid. I'm gonna be honest. I made an oopsie. I feel stupid. and I'm going to admit it to you guys. So I paid $6 for this. I would expect to get 20 to 25 for this. And it is not Murano. However, it is made in the style of Murano artisans. So, anyway, I think that's everything we got in yesterday's video. This book is gonna drive me nuts. I think this is everything we got in the video. Some more coffee. Yeah, this is everything. I even got the lamps this time. You guys should be proud of me. Sometimes I forget stuff. I remembered the lamps this time. This is everything we got in yesterday's shopping video. Today, Andrew and I went to the bins, so I have a bins video coming. I'm really excited to bring that to you guys. It should be dropping maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I still have to go through all the stuff Andrew got at the flea market. It's still in boxes. I have to commit to making the video and filming the video and just like sitting down and going through the stuff, because I'm super excited to go through it, but at the same time, I'm like, I really need like a half hour to go through it. Like, it's gonna be a really long video. And I know there's some good stuff because I've already peeked through it. And I told you guys, I've given you guys like, oh, well, there's one of those donkey cart things that I didn't buy in the last shopping video, but I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna bring you guys the video. He spent $175 on this stuff, so there better be some good stuff in it. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you haven't seen the shopping video, make sure you go check that out. There's a link down in the description. And now I'm going to go edit this video and hit the hay. And I will see you all tomorrow. Later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you've spotted something that you just can't live without, don't worry. I've put a link to our Etsy store down in the description.